I wish I knew.
Welcome back to My Husband is My Best Friend.
Cynthia Bailey speaks on season 16 reunion and Brit Eady's departure.
Okay, so first, I have questions for you.
Oh God. Okay.
So it kind of made me feel like my last reunion wasn't so bad because you guys, I'm saying you guys, the girls were 2.5 to 3.5 hours late.
Yeah.
Was
Yep. Some of the
that
girls
because
were
of
late.
Brit?
No. No. I don't think Brit had anything to do with anyone else being late. Brit didn't come, which is a whole nother conversation. But
Right.
no, I don't think she had anything to do with anyone being late.
But
Like
I mean, like
Atlanta,
the kind
it's
of
just a minute.
chaos. I'm
All
saying the
right. So our
chaos
call
of it.
time was, I'll say we got there at like 6:30, and they wanted us to be out there on the couch by 11:30. So that's 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. That's almost 5 hours.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
a
time
long
to
time.
get
A
glam.
lot of time.
But people have to eat breakfast. I think some of the ladies' dresses were like late getting there. It was a lot going on. But yeah.
Colorful Dread said no, they're just late.
But I mean, I will say some of the ladies are not always on time, which
Okay.
personally, for me personally, I pride myself on just being respectful of time. That's just me. I've always been that
Yes.
way. If I don't like to be late to things, I think it's
I
crazy,
can attest
especially to work.
you are always on time, if not 15 minutes early.
Yeah, and if I'm going to be late, I will call and say that I'm going to be late. But I just try to be on time, especially if I'm being paid to
Right.
be on time.
Right.
So there's that.
I love that. I love that. Well, I mean, I feel like tell us about Blackpink. We're going to talk about a reunion first, and I'll talk about Blackpink. Okay.
Okay, what's Black
So
Ink?
the concert I went to with
Oh
Zoe,
my God, I
K-pop.
saw that.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay.
it
All
was
right.
awesome.
Reunion first. So what did you see? So some people were late.
Yeah, some people like,
Who
and
had
then
your favorite
okay,
look?
a look.
Yeah, dress.
It's so funny. I have to say, like, well, you looked gorgeous, but we have to take
Yeah,
you out of it because I'm,
yeah. I can't.
obviously too biased. And I also like simple.
Yeah, I
You know,
know. Like I
I
feel
like
like you actually
classic.
would have worn my dress. You could have worn that same
I
dress 100 times,
felt
different
yes,
colors.
I felt very much like we were one. I love it.
Well,
It's so funny because I feel like people were like dragging
Phaedra.
um uh
Yeah.
Phaedra, but okay, Grant, her outfit was a little over the top, but reunions are over the top and it's Atlanta, but her body is out of control.
No, her body's amazing.
What
Well,
the hell? Has she always had that body?
I think it looks better than ever now, for sure. I think she's
She is
definitely
cut, she's
at her
lean.
peak body moment right now. And just to be fair, the theme was, I was told, and I don't know what everyone else was told, but
Yeah.
I'm sure they were told exactly what I was told, that the color was yellow, not gold, yellow, because I asked about gold and I was told no. Had
Oh,
I known that we could wear gold, I would have had so many
got
other options. Not that I didn't
it.
like my dress. My dress was very simple. It was comfortable. It was chic. I loved my dress. So, but I would have had maybe some other options to play with had I went into the gold category.
Got it.
And we went to Grenada on our international trip. So it was like kind of like Grenada vibes, island vibes, gold, blah, blah, blah. Not gold, I'm sorry, yellow.
Yeah.
And Phaedra, like I love a theme. And I know you probably like a good theme as well.
Yeah.
I felt like Phaedra definitely committed to the Grenada jab
Right.
thing because it was the little helmets and all of that. I mean, listen, she committed. Maybe she overcommitted, but she committed. I thought she
It's a
was,
show. It's
yeah,
a show.
yeah,
She put on a show.
yeah,
And so
absolutely.
I enjoyed it. It's very different from Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
We don't, I only did 3 years, but from what I can tell, we've never got a color scheme. What they always say to us is
Really?
we never once. So every year it's been like, we want jewel
Okay.
tone but always cocktail length.
Yeah.
We've never did a gown.
Cocktail. Never gown.
No.
Oh,
So what happens is we'll send in 3 colors. They said minimum 3 colors. And then they'll be like, oh, this is person's they already picked their color. It's blue.
okay.
So these are your 2 options. Okay. So they kind of piecemeal it.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe.
Like this cocktail chic, for sure.
Yeah. So they always make, I think ours is always slightly more casual. I always feel like the other cities get sort of like huge, like big, so almost costume like dresses. Like we don't do that. So,
And usually
but I loved
it's back.
yours. And I actually thought everyone looked so pretty, but
Yeah.
my God, there were so many boobs out. Like I'm so
Oh
conservative. Like it's
yeah.
everywhere.
It's every for Atlanta. Yeah, we like to show a fair amount of bitch in
Yes.
Atlanta. For
But what I found was a little jarring was seeing 4 versus 2 on the couch. So I was so happy to see that they brought you out in the beginning.
yeah, well, I was surprised. It was a lot of surprises. This was clearly
Yeah.
surprise season 16 for sure. So I honestly felt like just because it looked crazy that Drew could have easily been on the other side as well, because it just looked like Phaedra and Porsha were just on a little island almost, and
Yeah,
everyone
they
else
did.
was on the other side. And when I came out, I was actually surprised. I was like, well, clearly I'm going to sit on this side because there's no one on the side except Phaedra and Porsha.
Right.
So yeah, that was I felt
You're
like this
right.
was
You know what? At first, it felt like Drew and Portia couldn't have been on the same couch, but they resolved it quite
they did.
quickly.
They
So
did.
I thought that was nice. I did notice, I thought Portia, I remember you mentioned like Portia really knew what she was doing.
Oh,
I
she
was like,
definitely.
wow, she's
Porsha
ready.
always does well at reunions, in my opinion. Reunions are, and you know this, they're very stressful. It's like, a lot of times, especially if you're in the hot seat.
Hmm.
Portia had a tough season this season. I didn't know how she was going to deal with the reunion, to be honest. I didn't know what her strategy was going to be. I was surprised that her and Drew squashed their issue so quickly in the reunion. Normally, it drags out a little bit more, but it dragged out so long for the entire season of filming. It was nice to
Yeah.
just squash it. Sometimes, like, and you can speak to this as well. Sometimes when you're like going at it with someone and you guys have an issue, sometimes you just get to a point. By the time you finally get to the point where it's either you resolve it or you don't, you're just tired of it. Like, girl, I'm so tired of like going back and forth
Yeah.
with you. I'm tired of fighting with you. I'm tired of throwing shade at you. Like, what are we doing? Can we get to the other side or not? And I like that they were able to just move on. Like
Yeah.
I wish it had happened earlier in the season. To be honest, I think it would have been a very different season for both of them had they said what they need to say and squashed it, because I do
Yeah.
think they had a pretty good friendship before all of this happened. So
Yes. I mean, I remember Drew said she kind of whispered like, "Wow, it took you like 18 episodes to apologize."
yeah.
So where are they now?
I don't know. I have texted with Drew. I have spoken with Portia because we've done some stuff, some projects together since the reunion.
Do they
So, but
seem
I
to be
haven't
in
talked to
a
them
good
about
place
either.
still?
What's that?
Do they seem like they're in a good place still?
As far as I know, yeah, I think
Okay.
it felt like what happened at the reunion was real. It felt like they were good. I feel like they're going to go into, I feel like they're going to be fine going
Okay.
forward unless something else
Got
comes
it.
up.
I just wonder, Ebony, I see your comment. We will address your questions.
Ooh,
Um, yes, and you can
okay, I
send
got to
Cynthia any of your questions because she has all the tea. Um,
remember.
okay, so do you Phaedra's the vampire? She should sell body oil. What does that even mean? Angela's MVP. Angela did really well too.
Oh, Angela
Um,
had a great season.
really
Angela had
good.
a great season. And a lot of people feel like, it's interesting because when the season starts, everyone's like, oh my God, this one's the breakout star. That one's the breakout star. But you have to realize we have to get all the way to like 17, 18 episodes to really see who's what. So some people were calling it a little early. And in the end, I always say like Angela really didn't click in for me. She didn't really get super activated until after Nashville. Was it
Right.
Nashville we went to? And after
But here's
that,
the thing, like sometimes it
it
just
was on
takes
and
time.
popping.
It takes
Yeah.
time because you got to kind of feel out what's going on.
We
Obviously, I think people know that I'm like a slow learner.
Yep.
So you're only going to pop, and also authentically, you're going to pop off when you really feel it.
Absolutely.
So,
And I think it's smart. I think it's smart. I thought Angela was smart to come in and get the lay of the land first. You can watch the past shows all you want. I guess you can study those shows. I never watched an episode of Real Housewives really before I came on the show. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know like to do research and try to figure it out. Like my ex-husband and I, we just came on and we just were us.
Yeah.
So, but in any case, I do feel like, in my opinion, Angela definitely felt, and a lot of the other fans are saying this, like the most organically, like a good fit for the show, like she would have fit in with the OGs and whatever. But I thought it was smart of her. I thought it was smart of her to get the lay of the land and see what was happening and kind of, instead of just coming in super hot out the gate.
Right. I thought, okay, so what do you think? Okay, Kelly was essentially accused of trying to take Portia down.
Well, you know what? I honestly didn't know about this alliance, and I don't know about Beverly Hills, but there are alliances on
I
Atlanta.
did not know
Honestly,
that.
I didn't know that there was an alliance until we got to the reunion, until they said it. And the
Hmm.
crazy
It's very
thing about
Beverly Hills.
it is, well, okay, here's the thing. Like, usually if I'm at a, if I'm friends with someone that season, like, I don't know if we call it an alliance, but usually, if we're friends, we want to protect each other as much as we can. And we definitely don't want to like fall out
Yeah.
or whatever. Um, so, but just to say, okay, it's going to be us four, like we're the ones and we're going to take down that person. I personally don't like a takedown per se, but it's nice to know you have support of other women for sure.
So that's interesting. When I started Beverly Hills, I I watched the show before, but I didn't really watch it like in depth. Like I didn't really like what the fans do, and I didn't understand the idea of alliances until I was there. But when I walked in, I was literally bright-eyed and bushy-tailed like, "Oh, everyone's my friend." And I don't feel like that wasn't like necessarily true, but
Yeah,
it's only until you really kind of go through it and you're like, oh, they really do have what they don't wanted to call it alliance, but they really have like what you said, like this is the core group. We have each other's
right.
back and we're the newbies. So it's so interesting to hear, Kelly and Angela, they were saying like, oh, well, we had an alliance of friendships, like being, I mean, they're not totally new, but like, like new full time, right? And
Yeah,
it's like for them to do that so early is like they're really that was so interesting because like I don't think I would have ever have done that
yeah.
myself.
Yeah, as a newbie, it's kind of like I wouldn't have known. Like, I didn't come in like the most prepared as a newbie. I will say that. I was not strategic. I didn't have a plan. I just came in. But what was so interesting was Portia didn't realize, or didn't seem to know, or said she didn't know that she was even in the alliance. Did you see that part?
Mhm. Oh, I love this. Hilda Curry, alliance versus allegiance. So that's an
Mm.
interesting take. That's an interesting because they have different sort of connotations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alliance versus allegiance. So what you're
Right.
saying, it's an allegiance. Like we're friends, we're in it together, and we don't want to fall out.
Right. And
Uh,
for me, it's like, and if I sorry, the like something was biting me
no,
out there. So I'm gonna go to.
I don't want.
I was
I love how
literally
you say
getting.
it so casually. Something's
I
biting
was
me.
getting eaten alive out there. So I'm gonna go
No,
to the
no,
front of
no.
the
It's
house
not worth
now.
it. No life is worth being eaten alive, girl.
I know, like literally, I'm being eaten alive. Look, this is the front of Lake Bailey.
Ugh, I can't wait.
That's bug friendly out here on the front. I gotta have them come and spray. I'm not outside that much. So anyway, go ahead, Crystal. What was the next thing? So yeah, I don't know. Like to Portia's point, sometimes that alliance thing could take the show down. It's like you have to still be able to tell your friends, like, hey, if I'm in an alliance with someone and I do something crazy, I need the people in my allegiance, alliance, whatever we're doing, to tell me, because those are great scenes when people that really our friends have to sit down and say, hey, friend, that wasn't what you needed to
Right.
do. Like, I didn't agree with that. You know what I mean? I think those are like some of the best scenes because those are those uncomfortable conversations that you want to have with your friends because you want to see them win and you support them. And sometimes, you have to tell them, hey, I didn't agree with that.
Right. Do you feel like the newbies at Porsche?
I never saw them a Portia, to be honest. I didn't even know there was like it never felt like they were all coming for her, to be
Okay.
honest. Like not as not as a game. Like I
Right.
never saw or felt that during filming. So I learned learned a lot at the reunion too, to be honest, because it just never felt like that. Like she seemed like she was in a pretty cool place with everybody coming in, with the exception of Drew, for sure.
Because we're getting some comments. Shamia planned to turn against Porsha. Kelly came in hot. I
Well,
mean,
here's the
people have
thing.
opinions.
I wasn't invited to the alliance. Angela wasn't invited to the alliance. If you're on the outside of the alliance, you don't know what the plan is because you're not part of it. So shoot, I don't know what what they have.
You don't have a mole in the alliance. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what those alliance meetings look like after filming. I don't know what those Zooms look like because we all weren't invited. Drew wasn't invited.
Right.
I wasn't invited. Angela wasn't invited. Porsha didn't seem to know that she was invited. So it's interesting. It's interesting.
Oh wait, I even have. Is that better? Can you see? I'm brighter now. I turn the lights on. Okay, wait. So, I had a question about. Did Shamia introduce Porsha and I forgot his name? There was a whole thing.
Simon, Portia's ex-husband.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
It felt
That
very like they showed clips. It felt very.
All right, so two sides to that story. There's they met in the DMs side of it, and then there is the
Shamia
part of it, and how that came up. I remember when they first started dating Porsha and Simon. Porsha posted something saying basically calling Shamia the best matchmaker ever, kind of thing. So I think that's where that came from.
Got it.
Now, I don't think at the reunion we really got a clear answer exactly how they actually did met, but those are the two things. So I don't really honestly,
because it felt very much they were like looking at each other, silent, and like let's move on.
Yeah. Well, it was giving that they really didn't want to say it, like whatever reason, like how it happened. That's what it was given. It was like, I
already answered.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone just asked, Cindy just asked, will the reunion discuss Brit's departure more?
I think it does come up a little bit, but I actually thought it was interesting, and I see a lot of the fans felt like it was kind of interesting that it didn't end up being talked about more because it was kind of a big deal that she didn't show up. It was like, I feel like 20 minutes from each castmate could have been just about that because normally you're obligated to come. Basically, it's part of your contract. It's part of your job to be there. So I know that I was concerned about us having 3 reunions because, I mean, three part 3. Because a lot of the questions, Brit had a lot coming her way for sure. She had an issue with Kelly. They started off as besties. She had an issue with Angela. She had an issue with Shamia.
Well, by the way, you can tell Kelly has no love anymore.
No.
You really can feel that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Brit's part was so big and it felt very glossed over. So I understand Cindy, who's online right now, her question, like, is it out? Maybe it's addressed later. But clearly you guys had so much to talk about.
It was such a long day. I can't remember it really coming up a lot after that, where it was like a real, like a very big conversation. I felt like once it was clear that she wasn't coming, like we all just thought she was late, to be honest. And once we realized that, well, once Andy said, okay, she's not coming or whatever, then it was like, oh shit. And my mind immediately went to, are we gonna still get 3 reunions?
Where's my paycheck? By the way, I would have thought that too.
I need those housewives to deliver those 3 reunions.
Thanks for tuning in to My Husband is My Best Friend.